To this now, King Misizulu Zwelithini can now inherit his father's traditional weapons after concluding a hunting ceremony on Saturday. Now, this was part of two ceremonies this weekend, including a cleansing ceremony. The cleansing follows the passing of the late King Goodwill Zwelithini kaBhekuzulu. Now, in Zulu culture, the cleansing ceremony is necessary for family members to end the mourning period for the deceased and spiritually assist the family to help them move forward. ENC's Manqoba Mkhunu is following the story and joins me now for more on what we can expect today. Manqoba, good morning to you, colleague. And I suppose before we even start with what can be expected today, let's just give context on the significance of what transpired yesterday and what was so important for King Goodwill Misizulu to not only be involved in the hunting process, but also subsequently then inherit his father, the late King Goodwill Zwelithini's weapons.
Well, indeed, Tumelo, this is a very important weekend for the Zulu monarchy because this officially marks the end of the mourning period for the royal family. And of course, you recall that there are certain rituals and traditions that have to be carried out in order to mark the end of that mourning period by the Zulu royal family. And one of those is what is known as Inqina, which is essentially the king's ritual hunt that is led by the king himself. And this is what we saw yesterday, the king leading amabutho to that hunt. They went yesterday to go and do that particular hunt, where they returned later with several wild animals that will be used in what is known as Ihlambo, which is phase 2 of the rituals that will be taking place this weekend, and this is set to take place today. But what we do understand, Tumelo, is that those wild animals will then be slaughtered, and the bile of those wild animals as well as the blood of those wild animals will be used to carry out the cleansing ceremony. And officially, what is important when it comes to this cleansing ceremony, Tumelo, is the cleansing of the king's or the late king's weapons itself. So this is a very important part of this ceremony because it does signal that these weapons would need now to be transferred to a new king. So that is expected to take place today. This is the part where it's called ukuhlanzwa kwezikhali, essentially the cleansing of those weapons, which include a stick as well as a spear and a shield of the late departed King Zwelithini kaBhekuzulu. Will then be transferred to King Misizulu, as he is the one that is going to ascend to the throne of the Zulu royal family. But in terms of what else is expected today, Tumelo, we do know that there will be other rituals that will be carried out as part of Ihlambo, and this also includes the cleansing of the throne known as ukuhlanzwa kwehlalo, which really also indicates that King Misizulu kaZwelithini is ready to take the throne as the rightful heir to the throne. So those are crucial, and these of course are interlinked. You have to have Inqina first before you can have this cleansing ceremony known as Ihlambo. And yesterday my colleague Siphamandla Goke spoke briefly to the Prime Minister of AmaZulu, Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, just to give us a sense of exactly how important these two activities or these two rituals are, of course ahead of the official public coronation of His Majesty King Misizulu kaZwelithini. And take a listen to Melo to what he had to say explaining the significance of these two rituals.
According to our custom and tradition, say that he is now sitting formally on his seat. So today, the king and most of his family, relative, people who are close to the royal family, and also some members of the one regiment have gone out to hunt. Inqina is a hunt, and that is actually a ceremony where the cleansing is supposed to take place. And you know, of course, that in the past, when we talk about weapons in the Zulu context, you meant spears, not guns. So, although the guns are predominant now, but the truth is that our weapons were just spears, because when hunts took place, we used kiris and we used guns. Today, actually, when they left, I was not here, but I heard that the guns, there were more than 50 guns, and there was a bit of a concern. Because Inqina can be a very dangerous thing, actually. Because, as you know, as a Zulu yourself, Mr. Koke, you know that there's a word called Ingina Mbumbul, because some people in the past would take advantage and even hurt or even kill, because anything that happens during a hunt is taken as an accident. It's not a murder, but actually murders took place that way.
We'll leave it there, colleague, our reporter Mangoba Mkhunu, updating us on what to expect in Kwakhangela Mankengane in KwaNongoma. Of course, those rituals and ceremonies continuing today.